What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the dog to my John Wick. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much. I'm pretty nervous. I'm gonna die though.
If you do, I will avenge your death.
Well, thanks, man. That makes it almost good.
How's your week, man?
Uh, Rainy. I didn't get much work done. But other than that, it's, it's whatever. How about you, dude? You guys, sell a lot of comics?
Yeah. I mean, you saw the list that
Yeah.
came out last week, so and I didn't even get to read all of them that I wanted to. I did all the real important ones, but it's like, dang, there's too much to do and too many darn comics to read.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into some news.
Yeah.
There's
All of this news.
there's just so much news, guys.
I think like they have to just be like Marvel's probably saving up for like before Fandom to spoil that, and I bet and DC's probably just saving up for Fandom at this point.
Yeah, I agree. But let's hear one that you got.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with my least interesting first. So Aladdin star Mina Massoud is interested in playing Nightwing, and what makes this really uninteresting to me is this guy. Like, first off, I didn't see Aladdin, so I don't know if he's an awesome actor or not. But the dude's like, no one's really been Nightwing yet. No one's really told his story. Like, everyone's done Batman though, so I don't want to be him. It's like you're not even a fan. You don't even pay attention. He's literally in Titans right now. I don't even watch this show, but I know that. Like, come on, dude. Like, don't pretend like I'm a huge fan. Like, he didn't even say that. He's just like, that's a one that I could do. I Googled skinny superheroes.
Yeah, I mean Aladdin was a totally fine movie, but yeah, I like the guy from Titans. I'm blanking on his name. It's like Brent something maybe, but yeah, he does a fine job as Dick Grayson. So I
And
know that they would absolutely cast someone new, for a movie because that's how
yeah.
they are, but still.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, just trying to think about it. It's like if they did do a movie though, it'd have to be an HBO Max only movie. And like they could not really, like, as much as I love Nightwing and you love Nightwing, they could not release a Nightwing movie to the theaters and expect that to make $1 billion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think like if they brought him into Batman first, it could, but even this new Batman's supposed to be like year one kind of, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't work
And
there.
and then it's also like with the Robert Pattinson one, it's gonna be way more serious. So it's like you couldn't really get young Dick Grayson in that and make that work either.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd have to go the Zack Snyder route, and I don't think that's gonna happen. So
No chance of Holy Strawberries Batman wearing a jam or anything like that.
that would be fantastic.
All right. So there was a new Eternals TV spot with some new footage. Casey, did you check it out?
I did not. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I'll I'll
Uh,
be I'll be honest though. It's like they could easily pay me to see that movie, but they can't pay me to be excited about it.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, but that's not something I can be excited about. I can't be like, oh my God, this movie is going to be so okay. So
Right.
pumped.
I
But
don't
I could
know.
just
That's
never.
almost how I am after like Endgame though.
Well, I'm still pumped to see Shang-Chi whenever I see it, even though like one of the TV spots, it looked like he was using the rings as a power move, like a super move too, which I'm like, that's stupid. But I still want to see the movie when I get the chance.
Yeah, I hear that it's like has nothing to do with like comic version at all, but it's
That
still good.
sucks. Yeah.
um yeah, but anyway, the the footage is like a lot of them walking in the desert for a minute. So, it's
Nice.
it's whatever you can do for a TV spot, but you've got Kumail looking suave, you've got dang it, what's his name? Richard Madden, he's playing
That's
Icarus.
that's John Madden's son, right?
Oh yeah. Can you imagine him with
Nice.
the whiteboard
Yeah.
describing how they're gonna take down the villain. Anyway. Yeah. Back to you.
All right, man. So, uh, I'll talk about Steve Orlando. Steve Orlando and Chris Lee are taking over the Marauders book. I've never read the Marauders. Like, I hear the last run was pretty cool, and like it sounds like a neat concept. Like that would be the type of book from the X-Men that I would actually read. Though it's just hard for me to get excited about any book about the X-Men characters right now. So I don't know about that. And you're not a big Orlando fan, so
He's grown on me a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, because like I've said, I think he's perfectly fine, and I think this would be a fun book. But it's also like there's a lot of X Men crap that I just don't care about that seems to always bleed into all of the other X Men books, and
Yep. Uh, Which which is kind of silly because at least at uh comic headquarters on Telegraph Road in St. Louis, Missouri, um, everybody there, if they're buying one X-Men book, they're buying all of them. It doesn't matter if they tie in or not. So it's like just let one be its own thing because
yeah,
these X-Men nerds are going to buy all of it anyways.
yeah, that must be really nice for you then. Like as a shop owner, because it's like, man, I mean, for me, I don't care, but for you, you should have to be at least like, man, there's like 800 X Men books out. Like the only way it could be better is if it was like the Spider-Man schedule where it was like everyone was 3 times a week or
Oh
a month. I mean,
gosh. I mean, everybody has their limit eventually, but yeah, like there always are a lot of X-Men books, but like half of them are just miniseries. And then once those end, they'll just start a new miniseries. So I guess it's kind
yeah.
of like ongoing anyways, but you know, it is what it is.
Now, I've seen a lot of people complain on Twitter, which is like 90% of Twitter, and they always are like, "Oh man, Storm needs her own book." And they name off some other characters, but it's like Storm's pretty great, and she had her own book for a hot minute when Nightcrawler had his for a hot minute. Do you think a Storm book right now would be a pretty solid, like sales wise, would be a solid miniseries? Because what the heck is she
Miniseries,
even doing?
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is she still Queen of Wakanda? Is she
No,
like,
I think that ended a while back because her and BP got divorced,
oh,
unless they
okay.
got back together, which very well could have.
Yeah, I'm not sure then. I mean, she's on, gosh, I forget which team she's on. She's on one of the teams because I
Yeah.
saw her on the cover this week. But it might have also just been like an X-Men. They've been doing like one X-Men character uh like variants, I guess. So I think it was just like a Storm variant. But
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Like the first issue I think would pop off for sure. If it was just a mini like 5 or 6, it'd probably do all right. But
I
there's
got you.
some that don't, that doesn't work for everybody. You have to
Yeah.
be like one of the real mainstream ones because they've done a series for Storm and Cyclops and even Magneto, and there's a reason that they don't last that long.
Well, the Magneto series, the Scotty Young one, was actually pretty awesome. I didn't read the Cyclops. I just can't get into Cyclops. But and the Storm one I didn't check out, but I heard was actually
There's
pretty good.
there's been multiple Magneto series, right? Because I thought Colin
I'm pretty
Bunn did
sure.
one. Like
I
the
I bet he did. Yeah, he probably
Okay.
did his. I think his was after the Scotty Young one.
Okay. All right. My last bit of news. Apparently, just like with everything else, Casey, there is a paper shortage, and it's kind of starting to hit the comic book industry a little bit. There's been stock issues reported from Bad Idea, DC, and Marvel, and there's also like still a what they're calling a manga drought in Asia right now too. So hopefully they can stay on top of this sort of thing, but it's sounding like it's just becoming too expensive, the what is available, and they don't know how it's going to affect the industry.
That's worrisome. I don't like the sound of that. Like I hope it's nothing like a lot of these other shortages have been. Like they'll be like, "Oh, we are having this shortage," and then it's like, "Oh, guess what? Yeah, everything's back to normal. Don't worry about it." So I hope it's more like that, but it's hard to say.
I do too. I know that the plastic one is real because I haven't been able to get comic bags regularly in like a year.
Wow.
Like my distributor will get in like one case every like other month. Um, and like it used to be just how many do you need? Now it's I have one case. Do you want it?
Yeah. Jeez
Which
Louise,
really
man.
sucks because, you
You go
know,
through those, yeah.
I go through those for the store, for pull list, for backstock, and then people just want to buy them in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's rough. Hopefully, I really hope that this whole paper thing doesn't come to that degree, because then I
Yeah.
think we're in some real trouble.
Start doing single issues for $10 a piece.
Yeah, that's called half of Marvel's specials.
And I mean DC too, in all fairness.
True. They just do less of them.
Yeah. Okay, and then my last bit of news, slow news week. James Gunn confirmed on Twitter he's going to be working on a new DC project. It's not, this isn't the Peacemaker thing, and I think he even said it's not Harley related. I could be wrong on that one. So, I'll start off asking you, what would you want? What else would you want James Gunn to work
Oh, man, I wasn't prepared for that.
on? So this will be genuine then, because it's coming from your heart.
Yes. Do you have something that you could go first so it's not silent?
Um, yeah, I mean, an ambush bug movie would be pretty sweet, or like a TV show, or anything Lobo related by James Gunn would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Gosh, dude, I'm terrible. I'm drawing a complete blank. I'm like, I don't even know who's funny.
Are they going to be like, I don't even
Um,
know who James Gunn is?
yeah, who are you talking about? You know,
You
it
mean
wouldn't even
Sean Gunn, the guy from Gilmore Girls?
the guy who did the bodysuit for Weasel and Suicide Squad. Um, yeah, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't even want it to be funny. Like, surely he has some ideas for like a mostly serious story.
Yeah,
I mean, he
I
claims
mean,
to be a pretty big comic fan, so uh, you know, let's do a like something Teen Titans related, like a live action proper Teen Titans movie. He can use the ones from the show. DC or Warner Brothers wouldn't let him do that, but that would be cool. But let's
yeah.
get like big production live action Teen Titans.
The only downside to that, and this is like just my opinion, but there is no set. Like, you don't get like with the Teen Titans that worked really well originally because you always had like, oh, this is Wonder Girl. She appeared in Wonder Woman. Robin appeared in Batman and all this different stuff. And then just throwing them all in there. I mean, I know people know who they are more now because the Teen Titans Go and all this other type of other mainstream stuff, but still it'd be kind of hard to get the audience and when since they're all connected to other people, you know?
I get that, but if they just marketed it the right way, like James Gunn's Teen Titans,
Yeah.
then it'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because so many Marvel fanboys were like, "This might be the first DC movie," and blah 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 blah. And they all went and saw it. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that movie flopped a little bit, technically, or not technically, but like people were like, it didn't make enough money because they released on HBO Max also,
yeah,
and COVID, so it's like, well, yeah, it did, but I think it might have made HBO Max money, help them out, getting more subscribers and all that nonsense.
yeah. I mean, that's where I watched it for sure.
Yeah. Um, So, and then also he said the Guardians Christmas special is going to introduce one of the greatest MCU characters. And I've seen a bunch of different theories on this, whether it be Adam Warlock or that shark, like the little shark that's really cute that everyone loves, that the internet just adores, like that too. So I think it's going to be Adam Warlock, but because I mean, it's like they set it up in the last Guardians for Adam Warlock, and if he's not in it, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, because I thought that he was kind of promised for Guardians 3, right?
Yeah, and I think this is gonna be Guardians 3, basically.
I hope it's Nova.
I mean, I'm pretty good on never seeing a live action Nova.
It's going to be Nova or Hercules.
Yeah, it's gonna be both of them.
Just all right. Well, I think that's the end of the news.
It
So
is.
we'll take our ad break and we'll come back and talk some comics. We'll be right back. All right, Casey, I don't have anything super special, but as I told you earlier today, I received an original Game Boy, and I was thinking, what's your favorite Game Boy title?
Original Game Boy or like any of the Game Boys, even the advanced versions.
Well, let's start with the OG, and then you can tell me if you have like a favorite Game Boy Color game or an advanced game.
Okay, so out of the original ones, I remember playing a lot, like, because that was my brother's, was the original Game Boy. So, like, I didn't get to play it a lot, but he had Marines. It was a game based off of the movie Marines. I remember playing that a lot and not knowing what I was doing. But if you press select, I think, then the sniper would shoot people and you'd automatically, kill everyone there. But it was only, you only had so many, and I didn't know that. But I was like, oh, I'm doing so good. And then he also had a Metroid game that I played a lot of. That's about all I remember for the original Game Boy. And Pokemon, duh. That
Yeah.
wasn't color yet. So I go Pokemon. I think I was Pokemon Red.
Oh, okay. That's also the one I started with too. Then ended up getting all of them.
Yeah.
They're somewhere back there on that shelf.
Now, now, do you like when did you quit? Because you weren't because when I started backup, you weren't playing them because like when I got I think X, you weren't playing them really. So like
Correct.
when was your quitting point?
Gen 3, I had Ruby. Um, and I think after that is Gen 4 was Diamond and Pearl. So I'm getting those remakes on the Switch that come out this year. Very, very excited to play those. But yeah, I stopped after Ruby and then didn't pick another one up until Sword and Shield.
I gotcha.
And I was like, oh, I'll just pay a reasonable price for the ones in between and play them. Well, they're like $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I grabbed like Alpha Sapphire, and my friend Nick had an extra copy of Moon, I think, so he just gifted me Moon. So like I have a couple of them I could play, um, but like X and Y, black and white, and then I think there was like black and white
There's
too.
black and white too. Yeah.
So there's like plenty I could play, um but yeah, like honestly, my favorite of those that go back and play is like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because I love Gen 2 and you get to play through all of Gen 1 on that too.
Yeah.
Um, but my favorite OG Game Boy game was actually Wario Land, which was Super Mario Land 3. Did you ever play that?
I think I did. I think my cousin had it, and I think I played it a few times.
It's great because the gameplay's awesome. You're just Wario, and instead of like he can jump and stuff, but he also has this cool like charge tackle move. But like the whole plot is centered around him wanting his own castle that's bigger and better than Mario's. That's like all he wants.
Yeah.
And then at the end, depending on like how many coins you earn throughout the whole game, you can get like a castle, um, like a log cabin, or I know there's a tree house, and then like the worst one is a birdhouse. Like that's what you get at the end of the whole game.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But anyway, it's a super fun game, and I am absolutely gonna replay it now.
Nice, man. Did you have a favorite Game Boy Color game?
Ooh, Game Boy Color. I'd have to look up a couple of the titles, but it'd probably be like a Pokemon game that came out, like
Yeah, for
Yellow.
me, I had
Well, no,
Donkey
Gold and
Kong
Silver were
Country.
color, right?
I don't remember. I didn't play Gold and Silver. I played Soul Silver. I didn't play
Okay.
the regular. Like I just randomly, I was like, I want to play a Pokemon game again, and I bought that at the Walmart when it before like the price skyrocketed.
Oh yeah. Actually, it just came to me. I absolutely know my answer, and it's Mario Tennis.
Oh, okay.
I played the shit out of that game. I can say shit because this is on YouTube.
And you
Um,
don't edit these.
and I don't edit these. But yeah, I played it so much it kind of like got me into tennis a little bit to where I started to play. Um, but so I'm on this site called Price Charting, which is where I input my video game collection. And every month they send you an update on like how the value of your collection goes. And Mario Tennis, that Game Boy Color game, like jumped up. It's like a $90 game.
How much was it you broke out right when you said that?
90.
90. Wow. Dude, speaking of games that like are price possession type things, like the price has gone crazy. So you remember that Godzilla game we watched the on it like the Yahtzee review on like way
Mm-hmm.
back in the, like okay. So I told my brother one year because I was like, oh yeah, it's like $20. I was like, dude, I've always wanted to play it. How about you get this for me for my birthday? Because that was what I thought the price was. And then when he got it for me, it had gone like it was like $30 or something. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like you overpaid. That was my thought. But then like on in these Godzilla groups now, it's like 200, $300 because they didn't make a lot of them.
Right. So that really is a prized possession.
I know. Like, I'm just gonna Google it really quick just for fun, so I can see the price, what it is right now. Because there's some people that will be like, "Oh, I overpaid for it, but I got it." In Godzilla groups, and it's just like, but why? Like, I love the game, but it's like I'm not gonna pay over $50 for a Godzilla game,
Right.
or no 60, because that'd be the price when it first comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so buy it now price 208, 290, 209, 230. Oh, 137, 220, 200, and it goes on.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The I did play that Donkey Kong Country game that you had too. That was a really good one.
It was just like the Super Nintendo one, but on Game Boy Color. It was awesome. Like it's a
Didn't they call it Donkey Kong Land though for Game Boy to like
I
spin
don't
it
remember.
differently?
I don't know. Don't remember. I played a lot of the Game Boy Superman game also, which was like the cousin of the N64 Superman game.
Which is atrocious.
Yeah, like I knew that game was bad when I was a kid, but like the nice thing about N64 games is you can put cheat codes in. So like I was like, oh, I'm beating them. And if I couldn't beat a level, I could just hit like R1, L1, and up and down on the C pad, and then like skip the level. So it didn't really matter.
One of the sillier ones that I played a lot of. Man, when I was a kid, I loved Hamtaro. Did you ever watch that?
I never watched it. I know what it is, but
Okay. Well, it had a Game Boy Color game called Ham Hams Unite, and it was super fun. So that is definitely up there for Game Boy Color games.
okay. So funny Hamtaro story. In Japan, they would release Hamtaro movies with Godzilla movies. So like a lot of these Millennium Godzilla movies were released with Hamtaro movies because they were both for kids. So that was their, they're like, oh, we'll put them together.
Yeah,
So yeah, I thought that was really funny.
that's awesome. That would be great. I wish they still did.
Dude, that I think Hamtaro was on Toonami, right?
Yeah, something Cartoon Network
All
or
right.
something like that.
Well, I'll add that to the list of stuff the anime boys will watch if we can find it
Yes.
streaming.
We got some interest on that, by the way, from one of our
Oh, nice.
listeners. So
Well,
we have to we have to start with oh gosh, the one with the cat boy or whatever.
Inuyasha?
And you watch it. Thank you. Dude,
Okay.
I'm losing it today, I'm telling you. But that's the one we'd have to start with.
Yeah, I got a pretty big list. And like cuz like my plan is we'll get the list cuz I was going through like old Toonami shows and I'll go through Adult Swim ones too. And then we'll go and find all the ones that are on streaming services. And then we'll go from there cuz I don't want to be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be buying these."
Well, I got the subscription service to Funimation, which just acquired like a ton of other anime from streaming services. So hopefully we can just like I'll just give you my login and maybe that'll cover us for most of it.
Yeah. A lot of them are on Hulu too. And then like Adult Swim has its own streaming service that has I think it has a lot of the anime. I don't know.
Okay. I'm really excited for it though, dude. Like
Yeah,
I'm loving the anime right now.
I know you are, man. And I'm like I'll say
This
it
this
like
is gonna make you a nerd, a total weeb.
I'm very much lukewarm on anime right now.
Just
Like
you wait.
My Hero Academia. Yeah. Other than that, eh.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super.
When was the last Dragon Ball Super? 2 years ago, so that doesn't count.
I know, but you still love it.
Oh, I know. There's like plenty of anime I love, but as I'm watching right now, it's My Hero Academia. Though I am watching Ultraman Trigger, which is not an anime; it's live action, but it's pretty great.
Nice. Well, we'll change you yet. Don't you worry.
Okay, or I'll just become more of like, I hate this. Why did I come up with this terrible idea?
But you got to see it through.
I know.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. If you'd like to hear Casey and I talk about video games for a few minutes,
And
check
other
out
nonsense,
and other
honestly.
nonsense. Check out the YouTube channel. That's just Two Worlds Podcast, and you'll get to hear that. But Casey, what books did you read this week?
Okay, so I read last week's Catwoman, Batman Reptilian, I think this is this is book 4. Wolverine, number 16. Batman Superman, number 22. Good Asian, 5. Legends of the Dark Knight, also 5. Adventureman, the third 5 in a row. Superman, Son of Kal-El, a 3. Deathstroke Inc. 1. Action Comics, 1035. Robin, number 6. And Thor, 17. What about you?
I read Runes, number 3. Icon and Rocket, number 3. Mr. Miracle, Source of Freedom, number 5. Robin, number 6. Deathstroke Inc., number 1. And Thor, number 17.
Dang, you missed out on action.
I did preface this whole thing saying I didn't get through everything.
I figured action was one of your like got to books,
Yeah, I really did want to. And I'll probably end up reading it after we're done recording tonight.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I will get us started with, I'll talk about like a few books because Catwoman I'm not going to talk about very long. I'm just going to say, for me, this is by Ram V, and who was on the art again? But as I try to find
the art was so good though, right?
It was. The art's really good. And like the story itself, it's really good. I really liked it. I don't really care about the fear state stuff. And they like this. They went way too far in before the artist's name, but it's Nina Vakuva, and I liked it. I mean, the cover's not the best, personally, in my opinion,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I really liked it, and Ram V is just really good. And then I'll talk about Reptilian, by Garth Ennis, Liam Sharp. I'm just not really enjoying, like, the story itself is good. I'm not gonna say it's not, like, it's a captivating story. It's an interesting story, but the way that Batman's written, I just still don't like. But we get some Killer Croc here. We kind of figure out what the monster that's been killing people is. I don't really want to spoil it because it is kind of crazy. There is one part though where, like, it doesn't make any. Actually, I don't. If I say this, I'll spoil it, so I won't. But yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't feel like this is a very meaty book for, like, what. Yeah, for a $5 book, it's like little tiny guy. So I mean that's kind of weird, but yeah, Liam Sharp's art's really interesting. But like I said, the story's not the best. Like, at least all of the writing is. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I'm hoping the last issue's coming up because, like, I'm fine reading it, but it's also kind of getting tiresome.
All right. I will do Runes number 3. This book's not great. If I'm honest, I'm just kind of in it because I'm in too deep at this point. You know what that's like.
Yeah, Immortal Hulk comes to mind.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, this is only 4 issues and not 50.
Not 50.
But this was written by Ivan Acetignola, and art by Francesco Ianquinta. But yeah, anyway, the art is still pretty cool, but the Viking guy is still in prison. This witch raises more of an undead army and is on her way to destroy this English village. And the English work out a deal with the Viking that he kills the witch and he gets to go free. And yeah, that's where it ends. So I'm guessing the final issue is going to be a big old fight. But yeah, I mean, it's just not that well written. And it says that there's an English translator, but I found like a couple of like grammar mistakes throughout this book, which that was kind of unprofessional, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. So I'm probably like a 5 on this one.
I got you, man. All right, so Wolverine 16, and this is by I really need this next time while you're talking, I'm gonna get it all ready and set up because why be polite. Benjamin Percy and Adam Kubert. And I normally really like Adam Kubert's art and everything I've read of this, but this one, it just, stuff seemed kind of off at times. The story itself was kind of like, you're gonna double cross this guy and I'm gonna double cross him and we're gonna team up. And then they're like, nah, psych, I'm double crossing you and he's double crossing you. And then he's like, see ya. And so then Wolverine, kind of does his thing, but like it ends with him, of course, winning. It's just like, this was like very much a letdown when like the rest of this arc was pretty solid. This one just wasn't very, like, the stuff that happened. I guess I was more bored than anything else. Like, he fought a dude with acid blood and I was bored. That should tell you something. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It should have been better.
All right. Do Icon and Rocket number 3. This is written by Reginald Hudland and pencils by Doug Braithwaite. And this issue is cool. It's them like going around the world destroying like the drug trade basically. And then like the president of the United States and like some of his colleagues are like, this is killing the global economy. Like we say there's a war on drugs, but really we just kind of control it so that we still make money from it. And this alien went and destroyed it with his, teenage sidekick, and we need to stop him. So they hire uh, the guy that we saw in his flashback from back in the like Civil War days that thought killed him. He thought he killed him. Yeah, he goes after Rocket's mom at the end. So this other lady shows up with like this cool sword and tries to like protect the mom too. But obviously, this guy's like a shape shifting alien and is kind of kicking her butt. And yeah, it just sort of ends on a cliffhanger on whether or not Rocket is going to make it in time to save her mom. But it was really cool. It's just like they're dealing with issues like, okay, let's just say drugs weren't a thing one day, what would happen? And this is kind of exploring that, which I think is pretty neat. So um I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 on this one.
Nice. I actually saw a page from this. It's like Rocket just blasting a bunch of dudes that shot at her, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, because she's that's when they're in Afghanistan, I think. And she's like basically telling some slaves that they have the day off and can go. And then all the bad guys watching over them all turn their guns on her. And she was like, I just have one request. Don't miss, because she can like take that energy and then like rechannel it back out. So
Yeah.
they light her up and then she just destroys them. It's awesome.
Nice. Okay, so next up for me is going to be Batman Superman number 22. And this is by Jean Luen Yang and Paul Pelletier on pencils. And I like this. You get Calendar Man. It's like right as the Joker toxins, going through and killing everyone in Arkham. And right as he's about to die, Mr. Mixaplick saves him. And so then like he's very much breaking the fourth wall, and he gives him this hat that lets him see all of the comic page, like that's all in like boxes, basically like all the panels and stuff. And then so then he goes and he fights these people, and like he's able to like this like right here, like he throws it and then gets the guy here. Like
Yeah.
they do that throughout, and it's really well done. And he then looks and he can see that Bruce Wayne is Batman because he's over in this panel. And then there's like a funny part too where Barbara she like goes to talk to Bruce and she says, oh, like this is one that just is like a silly little thing. She's like, Bruce, you're up late having trouble sleeping? That was a joke. And then he's like, oh, what, he's, being his normal grumpy self. And then Superman calls him, like, Bruce, you're up late having trouble sleeping? It's like, we need to meet. So I just love that. Like, I love that Barbara and Superman have the same exact humor.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then like the only real downside is like this part here. So Calendar Man is punching Superman and Batman through the like panels, and it's like, yeah, I get he can punch Batman through the panel, but like he would just punch Superman and break his hand. Like they like this this hat didn't give him like super strength or anything, so like that part was a little bit annoying. But other than that, I really like this. It was a lot of fun, really really cool. And then like Mixaplick kind of just makes it so that none of the big things that happened in this book actually mattered, but it's actually done well, and I enjoyed it. It had little parts in it I was like, this is fine, but not great. But like I said, I liked it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. You think this book will last that much longer?
I mean, yeah, Batman Superman, ever since like Jeff Loeb did it, like it's kind of been a staple. It just like because it's two of their best selling characters together, and they don't have to do anything in continuity. So
right. I didn't know if because if I remember right, the New 52 one didn't do so hot.
It jumped around a lot with creators, if I remember right, because then Greg Pak write it for a little bit.
Probably.
and it had other people after that and stuff. But yeah, I want Gene Luen Yang to do other books too, though. It's like he does this in Shang-Chi, and that's it. And it's like, dude, you're amazing. Do 50 other books. Come on.
Well, before they announced Williamson on Batman, I was like, let him do Batman
That would be awesome. He would do such a great job.
or take over Superman once Philip Kennedy Johnson's done.
It's, in all honesty, like just from like I follow Philip Kennedy Johnson on Twitter, it sounds like that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So
Oh, really? I mean, that's fine. Like
yeah, yeah.
I think he's earned a long haul on a
Oh
book.
yeah. I mean, it's the way it sounds. It's like someone said, like, I hope you're not leaving anytime soon because I love this book. He's like, oh, don't you worry.
Well, I mean, everyone went to Substack, so
Yeah.
all right. So next I'm going to do Mr. Miracle, The Source of Freedom, number 5. And this book was written by Brandon Easton with FICO Ossio on the art. And I also want to shout out Rico Renzi on the colors because it's amazing. So yeah, Mr. Miracle, Shiloh, Orion, and Oberon are all fighting Navir Free, who is Scott and Barda's child, along with all of these weird, I don't know, they just look like ectoplasm monsters. I know that's not what they are, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, they find the Mobius chair and they fly off to the source wall to like charge it up because Shiloh's talking to his mother box, and Orion and Oberon tell him that the Mobius chair can like answer any question. And so Mother Box is translating, and the chair doesn't have enough power. It's like, well, Mother Box is saying we need like this much power, and Oberon's like, I know a place, let's go. They go to the source wall, and obviously that gives them enough. But Shiloh uses it to just see Navir's backstory, and like she grew up super loved by Scott and Barda, but then one day they were like, we're going on this adventure to save the universe, and they walked through a boom tube and just never came back. And so Navir just built up this, I watched Star Wars today, so for lack of a better term, galactic empire to like keep their legacy alive. And they just find out that somewhere in the future, Shiloh and Navir have this like civil war, and that's why Navir's out to kill him. So yeah, Navir catches up to them, but Orion is like, "You guys go. I'll hold her off as long as I can." And they use the Mobius chair to go to a point in time. Basically, they're trying to beat when Scott and Barda leave and don't come back, but they don't make it. And they get to a point where a big fight during that Civil War is happening. And that's where it ends. And this series ends on the next issue. So, like, a lot kind of has to happen in this next issue. But this book's been so good that I have total faith in Brandon Easton as a writer. But it was cool. You throw Orion in as a guest appearance, and chances are I'm probably going to like it unless it's just the worst book ever. So it was cool. He was written well. Sometimes people write him as just like a jerk, like a mean jerk, and that's it. But he wasn't here, and I appreciate that. And I mean, the art is just spectacular. So yeah, I wanted to shout out like the color work and stuff. You can see why there if you're viewing it. It's just really good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 9. I think it wasn't quite perfect, but it was close.
Nice, man. Okay, so next up for me is going to be The Good Asian. This is by Pornsak Pichishot and Alexandri Tefeginki. I feel so bad. I really do. But yeah, so this one, you kind of get more backstory with him and, his love, like basically his love life and just how all his relationships with his family that he's staying with, or he was staying with, and everything. And how he got a scar, and then it ends on this crazy note. It was super good. Like the last issue I wasn't super hot on, and I was just like, this kind of, I don't know. The end was crazy, but this one, like, I was captivated the whole time, and that's really all you can ask for of a comic. Like, I mean, I'm gonna talk about the next book. I'm gonna be like, oh well, this is all you can ask for of a comic too. So it's like, they're they're gonna be completely different too. But this was super good. I loved it. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
And then you're done, correct? Or do you have one more?
No, I've got 3 that we read together.
Okay. So next up is Legends of the Dark Knight. And Jake, really quick, you should get this book for like, did you see what the story was in it?
Yeah, it's actually in my stack with action.
Nice. Okay. So I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's by Brandon Thomas and Giannis Giannis on the art, and Jordi Belair on the colors. Always kills it. Like, just, I don't think they've ever done any bad work. But yeah, so like Batman's teaming up with Martian Manhunter against the Calendar Man again. Double Calendar Man this week. Fantastic. Maybe he's like every week and we just don't ever read the books he's in. And now it's just finally coming over to these books.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of fun. I don't want to spoil anything for Jake, but I will say there was a lot of good parts. It's like kind of a lighthearted story with some, like just the way like Martian Manhunter and Batman talk to each other and stuff. And it's like, if this book just became like Legends of the Dark Knight just became like Batman team up, basically, I would be all about that. That'd be so much fun. And like spinning off, and like Martian Manhunter gets his own book written by, Thomas. Like that'd be so great. I would be super stoked. No, that wouldn't happen, but I would like it because like this was such a fun story. It's such a great time, and guess what? That's all you can ask for of a comic book. So I'm gonna give this one also a 10 out of 10, even though it's a completely different 10 out of 10 than the Good Asian.
I think you found the title for the episode.
I need to just like say about all these other books now. Like this is all you can ask for of a comic book. I hated it though. Spoiler alert though, I did not hate this. This is going to be Adventureman number 5 by Matt Fraction and the Dodsons doing the art. So it's Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. And the only downside to this is the last one of these books like came out, it feels like in the springtime.
It's been a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's the only bad part about this is like I'm trying to remember, like it's very much like Memento. Like I'm just trying to like
I thought it was done. I thought it was the 4 issues and that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's like it just seems like that's how it goes with Matt Fraction books. It's like, oh yeah, we can't have one with a good schedule, guys. And
Jimmy was for the year. It came out.
That's true. And I don't know why it's like that, because it's like I guess that's one of the reasons why he left Marvel. I was reading about this. He got mad at how they were doing him with the releases on stuff. And by the way, have you been keeping track of time?
Oh, no. I mean, it's not been more than 15 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start with 45.
Okay. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. If you can just like, if like they somehow came out with like a 4-issue trade that you could read right before this and then just pick up on number 5, that'd be perfect. Because that's the only downside. Like I'm saying, you just don't remember what happened last issue, but I'm going to give it an 8 out.
Sorry, 8 out of 10.
I was just 8 out of 10. It's really good. The art is outstanding.
Yeah. I can tell people, I don't know if they did a trade, but they at least did a hardcover. Unfortunately, it's one of those like oversized, obnoxious hardcovers.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to get caught up on the story, then you can do that.
Would like a comic book shop have it?
Maybe. Yeah, check your local comic shop.
And if like let's say like they live far away and they're listening to this, but like they in their local comic book shop doesn't have one, would like Comic Headquarters have it on Telegraph Road in St. Louis?
They would. And you know what? Even if you did live far away, Comic Headquarters will mail it to you.
Yeah, so if you're our one Ireland listener, who I don't know if you're still listening, he's got you. Okay, so next up, this is just gonna get the award for the worst cover. It's Superman, Son of Kal-El, and this is by first really quick. Look at this cover. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oof.
It it's just terrible. I mean, like you don't have like the hands are too high up. It looks like he's trying to be sexy for his dad, which is just not okay. But yeah, it's by Tom Taylor with John Timms on the art. And this was like I said, I don't know if I said it on here, but I said I'm pretty sure this third issue doesn't keep me. I'm not gonna stay on it. And it's like I liked it enough to stay on it. I'm not. I think it's mostly just because I love this character, but there's a lot of stuff in it that bothers me because it's like they rescue this character. First off, this building's going down, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta rescue all the people in the building," which is like good. They're rescuing all the people, but first off, Superman doesn't have tactical telekinesis, so he can't just hold a building that's falling down like this. He would just go through it. And then secondly, just because you're saving the people in the building, there's people on the ground. There's buildings surrounding it. Building is going to hit another building. You have to save the, all of this stuff. And it's just like, no, we save the people and the dogs that are in the building. We win. And I was really annoying. But then later on, he he finds it's like the first issue where there's that person with the superpowers that doesn't remember anything. So they help her. They take her to Star Labs, and she's being watched over. And then John gets a call from his reporter friend who was like, "Oh, hey, we need your help." They were like doing a boycott because the refugees were being sent back. So they're all like picketing and stuff. And John joins them, and he's like, "You're going to have to arrest me if you want to arrest them." And they're like, "We don't want to." Like, "You have to." And they're like, "Okay." So they arrest him. And then Superman shows up, and he's like, and then like, at first, he does this big speech about how his dad was a refugee and stuff. And then Superman shows up and gets him out of prison. And he's like, I hope like you're not just because I got a famous dad that I'm getting, out of prison. It's like, he's like, everyone's getting out of prison. And then like he talks to him, and it's like, this would work. Like I was talking to my brother about this. Like this would work a lot better if like Superman wasn't an awesome dad. Like if he was just like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you such an idiot?" And then John's like, "I'm not. I'm doing what's right." It's like, no, that Superman's like, maybe I don't agree with you 100%, son, but I support you. I love you. It's like, he's like, "I love you too, Dad." Like they're just like way too in sync for the like. You need some type of foil, to go against like when you're doing this type of stuff. So it doesn't work that way. And then John's pink-haired reporter friend is there, and they're gonna like, "Oh, you want to come to the family dinner?" And then like he can't talk in front of Lois because she's a great reporter. And he's like, "Clark Kent's not like, he's a fine reporter, but Lois Lane, she's got Pulitzers. And I just don't know how to talk to her." It's like, dude, you want to be a reporter. You got to learn to talk to people, you idiot. So like that was, like people were like loving that online, but I thought that was just kind of stupid. And then like at the end, somehow the bad guys got that superhero girl back. It doesn't explain. It's just, she's back. And guess what? We're using her as a weapon. That's all I'm going to say about it because I don't want to spoil it. If you're going to read it, are you going to read it?
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Well, I'm going to give this a
Tom Tailored out.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I think that's the highest rating we've gotten so far, but I'm going to give it till issue 5 now. If it doesn't get above a 5-star rating, I'm done because it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. But maybe maybe I'm out of touch.
No, it is the children who are wrong.
And then next up is Action Comics, and this one is awesome. So yeah, you just have the last one pick. Off Superman, like the one girl is kind of like crazy and stuff, wanting to fight everybody. Superman is being Superman and just being outstanding, and then he he goes like basically stops everything, and then he kind of basically lets Mongol know what's up, and then the Justice League show up, and they're like, "We're not happy that you stole that thing," and then they kind of talk to him. He's like, "I wanted you guys to go to Warworld with me," which it's like, did you though? Look at this team. We got Black Canary, Ollie, Hawk Girl, that girl, Naomi, Hippolyta, and Black Adam.
Hippolyta, you are ridiculous.
I know. But yeah, and Batman, it's like, what were they gonna do to Mongol? Like Black Adam, I get, but the rest of them versus Mongol, come on.
Come on, Green Arrow could have one shot Mongol.
Green Arrow's got the Mongol arrow. But yeah, so he's like, I wish you guys would have come, and they kind of talk for a little bit, and then like we get a little bit of the John's angst, and that was like one part that I didn't really care much for. And then Superman does Superman stuff, and then he has a little bit of a bedroom chat with his wife Lois, and then as she's sleeping, he's like, "See ya," and and then he shows up to his team, the Authority, which is the team from the book that we've been reading, Superman and the Authority, which I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I went to Twitter and was like, hey, Philip Kennedy Johnson, what gives? I didn't say it like that. I was not near as confrontational about it. I was much nicer, but I was basically just like, I'll read exactly what I said. I was like, that's his reply. I was like, so genuine question. Loving this series. Why is Superman and the Authority feel so much different than in action? He feels like he's older and the whole thing is in a future type story. And Philip Kennedy Johnson goes, great question. And it all makes sense by the end of Action Comics 1036. So he's doing a good job of selling that book. It might not have anything to do with it, but I trust him. So, I mean, it's neat that it's neat that he actually answered that too. I bet he gets that a lot. But yeah, so I'm like, I love this story. And then the backup story, which I haven't been hot on. This one is a Guardian story. And Jimmy Olsen, which it's like, how can you go wrong? And so this is, called Tales of Metropolis, The Guardian. This is by Sean Lewis and Sami Basri on art. And it's great. I loved it. Like, you have them dealing with these kids that are doing some like weird kind of like Ouija board nonsense. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. This as a whole is going to get a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. I mean, like outside of Angsty John, it was really good.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me what you think about it, man.
I shall.
Okay, and then now we are just Stevens.
I'm thinking Robin, Deathstroke, Thor. Robin, Deathstroke, Thor.
Okay, bud. Okay, so maybe not Robin, Deathstroke, Thor, because that's 2 Williamsons in a row. So we might want to do which one? Okay, which one do you think would be better to end on, Robin or Deathstroke? And we'll just put Thor.
Series, the number 1, right?
Okay, there we go. So what did you think of Robin? I'm gonna let you take over.
Sure. And just so the people know, it was written by Joshua Williamson and art was done by Gleb Melnikov. I thought this issue was pretty great, if I'm honest. I like the core, I'll say good guys are finally like meeting up in secret and are like, hey, something fishy's going on here. You know what I mean? And then, Robin was pretty crafty there at the end to try and figure out just what is going on here. But I like it. The only thing is, like, I wish we could have seen more of the actual fights between some of these characters. And I realize that Williamson is just trying to tell the story here, and it's not just like, it would be 12 issues to get through all the fights. So I get that.
And my theory about Gleb not being able to draw good fights still stands, because some of these where like the fight stuff's going on, it's like the bodies just look weird and they don't look like they know, like they look posed weird in my opinion.
Well, and also it just kind of things just kind of go too quick sometimes. Like his
Yeah.
fight with Tengu, who is the bird guy, he just goes from like Tengu rushing him to just Robin having like spoiler alert stabbed right through him, and he's just standing there like next. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what happened?
Well, and then like here, so I think that's Nightwing getting kicked in the throat, but it's like kicking him in the throat, but yet he's like it's like kick like it blood's coming out of his mouth. So it's like, oh, you kicked him so hard that he's doing like the anime blood cough, which, I guess could be what's going on, but it doesn't quite look right. And like the one chick from Nightwing is doing that like really bad, like that stiff looking uppercut that just does not look good to me.
Yeah.
So
But like as far as like the story stuff goes, I'm digging it. And I know that it's just like a Ravager knockoff, which is a Deathstroke knockoff, but Respawn looks awesome in my
he
opinion.
does. I mean, heck though, like that's Deathstroke. The reason why everyone knocks that character, like knocks off that design, is because it's awesome. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that it looks so cool. And I will say, even where Gleb does not do very good with his fights, his facial expressions are fantastic. I will say one other thing, and I'm not going to put the blame on him. I'm going to put it on just whoever, but I hate this bat Robin mask.
Yeah.
It's like that. What's the point? Like, you're not even wearing a mask at this
Right.
point, man. But other than that, like, I do like just how good he does facial expressions. They look fantastic, and then the way like him written with old Flatline is pretty
Dude,
great too.
I was just about to say that. Their little wholesome moment was great. And she
Yeah,
like read his book so that she could talk to him about it. I'm like, man,
yeah.
I love that.
So I thought that was pretty great. And yeah, I'm enjoying this pretty much for the most part. Like, there's minor gripes, but it's still good. I do wish we would have had more of the fights though. It's like they killed off like half of Nightwing's rogues gallery in just a couple of panels.
Yeah. I mean, they'll all come back from, Lazarus pits, but it's
Yeah.
like, dang, like some of these guys were, you know, like if you give Nightwing a little trouble, I think you're a pretty good fighter because he's a very agile fighter, and they're just like, nah, dead.
Though in all fairness, I do remember that one time when Nightwing was mad and he wasn't holding back and he just defeated his whole rogues gallery by himself that time. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Um, so yeah, I think I'm at a 9 out of 10 on this.
Yeah, I'm at about an 8. I liked it, but I didn't like as much as you clearly.
All right.
Okay, so next up is Thor number 17, and this is by Donnie Cates with Michelle Bandini as the guest artist again. And what were your thoughts, dude?
I liked it. Um, the only thing that kind of bugged me is some of this family drama felt a little forced. Like Angela's just, I mean, she is so much angst, right?
Yeah,
Um, and even Odin, but that's Odin's character. So that is like, I'm not faulting that too much because he's just like, well, I'm basically God, and if it doesn't go his way, then he's angsty about it. But I don't know. I mean, overall, I liked it. I'm so glad that we got the nice mother son moment between him and Frey at the end. Like, that was fantastic and has needed to happen for a very long time. And I'm gonna
yeah.
say it again, man. Freya's design, whew, it does things for me. It's great. I think she looks fantastic. It's like the coolest character design I've seen in a long time. I love it.
What'd you think of her big ol' kitty cat with machine guns?
I thought it was fine. Like the big cat thing is whatever. It's a cat that belongs to a giant, as I told you from last week's
Yeah,
Norse mythology story. The
yeah.
machine guns
I thought it
are
was pretty dang cool.
it is cool. the machine guns are goofy, but I mean, whenever Jason Aaron did the War of the Realms, he kind of opened up weaponry to be whatever at that point.
Yeah.
So
Well, heck, even Matt Fraction with the Fear itself, when like Tony got to make armor, like he teamed up with the dwarves and he made like Iron Man armors.
yeah, yeah,
So sweet.
I've seen panels from that.
Oh, you haven't
Um,
read that? You didn't read Fear
um,
itself, or
no, I did. I didn't read Fear itself.
oh, dude, you'd more than likely enjoy it.
I
Some
mean,
people were,
I read the end of it because obviously there's a big thing with Thor at the end of it. But
yeah, yeah, like a lot. There's some people that were kind of like grumpy about it, but for the most part, most people liked it. So I think you'd probably enjoy it.
and then really the only other gripe I had is I don't like how this artist draws ponytail Thor. I just think it looks so goofy. Like I know I said
Yeah,
it last time too, but it's the same this issue.
yeah, yeah, I get that, and like for me, this issue 100% felt like it was more geared towards you versus me, where it's like this is for the people I've been reading Thor for a good long while. So like I was just kind of left going like, okay, you
Yeah.
know. But I am interested in seeing where it goes next because that where they're talking about with it how it ended is pretty cool.
Yeah. I get it. And like if you haven't been reading Thor for very long, like yourself, Casey, then this issue probably isn't going to grade too high, but we needed it as Thor fans.
Yeah,
We desperately needed it. So I'm glad that Donnie gave attention to the issues at hand here, and hopefully, I don't know. It seemed like the way that this is going, like the starting next issue, is about to be like really fun, like really
mm-hmm.
fun. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope that we get more, just more stuff with like Odin, Angela, and Freya, because I don't know, like Angela said why she got them all here, but there's no way that that's resolved. So hopefully we see that flushed out a little bit more.
Yeah. So where are you at with it?
Um, I'm at an 8, I think.
All right. See, like even though I didn't know what was going on, like that's not something I'm gonna penalize it for because it's not like this was like in issue 1 or whatever, So it's like I can tell what good is when good is good. So like I'm not that far off from you. I'm just gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Fair enough. All right. And then our last comic for the week is Deathstroke Inc. And this was written by Joshua Williamson, and Howard Porter does the art. I love Howard Porter. He's great. Um, this was a weird issue, Casey. What'd you think of it?
I was let down. I'm gonna say that. I
Yeah.
was expecting a 10 out of 10, and spoiler alert, it wasn't that. Um, yeah, like it was interesting. There's some really kind of cool, creepy stuff, whatnot going on, but I don't know. It's just like Deathstroke. I thought was there's parts where I'm like, they're trying way too hard with them, and then like that character that's on the computer, I thought was super annoying, and like Black Canary is pretty cool. Like, she knows something's up, so she's actually talking, trying to talk about stuff, and that's interesting. And Deathstroke, he's fine at other times, but when he's just walking around with a big machine gun and stuff, like I'm like, this doesn't seem like Deathstroke. I don't see him walking around with a big machine gun, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was let down. What would you think?
I mean, it was fine. It's a first issue, right? There, he's trying to do some setup here. The B family was honestly, like, if you think about it, pretty terrifying,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like the dad that just had the the like hive for a head and the weird like spout. Like if you walked into a house and saw that, I'd be right back out the door. But
Yeah.
the art's great. The character designs were cool for this creepy bee family. I'm with you on Toyman 2.0. Um, I don't know why they feel like all the characters that sit at a computer, at the computer have to be the quirky but super annoying characters. Like,
I
are
don't
we
know.
just are we just
Think
spoiled on Barbara? Is that like what?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it would have been cool if they would have brought back Calculator. I'm gonna keep saying that till they bring him back because I want it. I would love it. I would love an Oracle story in like that Gotham Knights or whatever book, and have it be Oracle versus Calculator.
yeah, I'd read that too. But yeah, also like Black Canary. Deathstroke was whatever. He had a couple of like funny lines that gave me a chuckle, but I'm interested enough to like give it another couple issues because the coming soon page, some of those have me a little interested in what's going on, but overall I'm probably at like I'm gonna say a 6 out of 10, I think.
That's actually exactly where I'm at. I will say it's pretty interesting though. I don't see how, and I love Deathstroke and I love Black Canary, but I don't see how they can do much against a bunch of Sinestro Corps members. But I guess we'll see.
Are you gonna read more of it? That's the real question.
Am I gonna? Sorry, you're breaking out a little bit. What'd you say?
Are you gonna give the next issue a chance, or are you like done with it?
No, I'm. I mean, I'm gonna give it another chance. Like heck, dude, I've been given all new Superman how many chances?
That's true. All right.
All right, buddy. What are you excited for, man?
So probably gonna go with the I like a good anniversary spectacular, so I'm gonna go with the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary issue. Um, it's kind of a light week for me personally, but that being said, I'll go with Batman and their like seasonal special is called "Are You Afraid of Dark Side?" and I'm probably gonna give that a shot too. What
Yeah, I'm
about
gonna
you?
give that one a shot. I'm for sure gonna give that one a shot. But yeah, no, it's looking like a small week for me too. I know Nice House on the Lake for sure. That last issue has me very excited for this one. Um, I'm gonna say the Wonder Woman 80th Spectacular and Batman because light week.
Oh man, lots of
Oh
lots of diversity on our answers there.
yeah, right. Okay, so now it's Fantastic Four time, and while I was reading Batman Superman, I was just thinking to myself, it'd be cool, even more books like this where we just get two characters thrown together. And I was wondering what would be four other character team ups or whatever that you would want to see. You can be as silly as you want with it or as serious as you want with it. I don't care. I think it's gonna be fun no matter.
Sure. So a more serious one that could certainly turn silly would be Thor and Beta Ray Bill. They're always like in each other's books, but there's never like those two together since really Bill's first appearance, which was the
Yeah.
ballad. So I would like that. Next, I'm going to say Nightwing and Wally West
Oh, that was one of mine.
because was it?
Yeah.
Because whenever you let me borrow your Flash trades back in the day, he and uh, he and Nightwing had like a really good bromance going on there, and I would like to read more of that. And then I'm gonna say it's pretty DC heavy because everybody knows I read a lot of DC at this point. I'm gonna go Doctor Fate and Detective Chimp. I just think there's something there that could be fun.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I'm going to say Orion and Plastic Man. I don't know what would happen in that book, but shenanigans would certainly ensue, and I would want to read it.
Yeah, good choices, man. So I'm gonna start with yeah, you stole Wally and Nightwing from me, so that's too bad. But from after that, I would say trying to think. Oh, Big Barda and Wonder Woman, because I like for me, I picture that being like the two of them, like just going out, like just fighting. It's
Yeah,
basically just them like pick like they're going to like a planet or like another realm or whatever, and they're just picking a fight with like other like people are supposed to be good fighters. And they just beat
girls'
the
night
crap out
out.
of them. Yeah. Um, and then I had another Sully one before I get to my favorite one. Trying to think. I don't know. I had another one that was going to be with Doctor Strange, but I'm blanking on it now. But then my favorite one that I came up with, it would be a detective book with the Thing and Professor X, and it'd be Professor X still in a wheelchair though, and it would be called Rock and Roll because he rolls. And then I'll just say, because I'm blanking on my Doctor Strange one, who would be the other one that I really want to do? Oh, She-Hulk and a Patsy Walker one, because those two are besties anyway, and I want a good book with the two of them together.
Yeah,
Period. That'd just be fantastic.
that one, I don't think that one's outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, like that one out of all of them, probably that one would happen. I don't think the Thing and Professor X are going to get a 100 issue series anytime soon.
I mean, again, if Marvel would just return our calls.
Right? I'll draw it all too.
Man. All right. Well, I think that's the end of the episode, huh?
I think so.
All right. So let's do our closing plugs. If you guys would, please go to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give the page a like. You can also find us on Twitter at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube, and that is just Two Worlds Podcast. Please subscribe to the old channel. And that's also where we have some exclusive content. If you don't want to hear the ad on the regular old podcast, you can go and listen to us talk, potentially say curse words. And this week in
Yeah, it's
particular,
usually just Jake.
usually. This week in particular, we talk about some video games, specifically Game Boy games. But anyway, guys, we would love to stay in chat, but Casey's been killed, and I have to go kill a lot of people to get my revenge. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.